First, I would like to talk about Sunrisers, that they have not learned from what happened in the last game against Chennai, where they leaked 200 and the way they went about the chase.
Hello and good evening. Welcome to yet another show of Straight Bat with Mr. Cricket UAE and Gulf News. Here we are for our late evening segment after the match between Delhi Capitals and Sunrisers Hyderabad. The Delhi Capitals eventually winning by 21 runs. They are now in the fifth spot in the table. Delhi Capitals have moved to sixth, while Sunrisers are now in the fifth after today's result. With me, I've got the man himself, Anis Sajan, aka Satish, the sports editor of Gulf News, and a special guest is Samrud Riker. He is the SRH fan. Hello, Samrud. Welcome to the show. Well, I'll come to Anis Bhai first. Anis Bhai, your take on the game. I mean, Delhi coming back quite strongly. That innings from David Warner setting the tone, then Rovman Powell gradually proving his utility. We were wondering that this guy has a fair bit of reputation preceding him. But as the tournament has gone on, he has gained in confidence. How do you sum up the game, Anis Bhai?
Hello, Gautam. Hello, Satish. Hello, Samrud. And hello to all the lovely people of Gulf News. First, I would like to talk about Sunrisers, that they have not learned from what happened in the last game against Chennai, where they leaked 200 and the way they went about the chase. When you're chasing 200, you cannot be 40 or 36 in your 6 overs. You need to go a little hard. I'm afraid Kane's poor form has been hurting them a lot. And that in the end, the margin of defeat might look 20-18. But it's a big defeat. They've been chasing the game a long way. And like you mentioned, Powell, yes, he's proving us all right that he's a dangerous player and he's making it count.
I'll come to Samrud as an SRH fan. Samrud, for 2 games on a trot, we have seen Umran Malik. He's bowled he's clocked 157 clicks, which is amazing. But at the end of the day, if you go for 52 runs for 4 overs, then you need to rethink about your approach. Should be there, instead of trying to just intimidate the batsman, because the odds are stacked against him in this T20 situation. What do you think should be Dale Stein's advice to him?
Well, first of all, I think today I think it was a learning for Umran Malik that just pace cannot survive you in T20 cricket. It might help you out in Test cricket, but in T20 cricket you need those variations. We've seen Lockie Ferguson as well use the slow balls to good effect in the last year's IPL, and he gets a few wickets with that. I think Dale Stein's main aim as a coach should be, to try and teach him some slow balls, some slow ball bouncers as well. Creating different angles and using the cross-seam deliveries. I think that should be the main aim for Dale Stein. I hope that Umran Malik will learn from this and come back as a better bowler in the upcoming matches.
I'll come to Satish. See, we face this dilemma, Satish, and we hear the commentators also talking about it, that somebody who's coming in with genuine raw pace. First up, should we ask him to teach how to bowl cross-seam, those slow bouncers, etc., or we shouldn't ask him to compromise on these qualities? So what's the right way to go about it? Because if he is getting some assistance, he can be really fiery. But these 2 games have been a learning curve for him. What do you think? What should be the right approach?
I think Gautam, without bowling his slower ones, he can vary the length much better than get the wickets that he was getting. There was not a single Yorker I could see. Yeah, 1 Yorker he bowled in that 4-over spell, which is 24 balls. And what has happened is the faster he is bowling and the wickets slowing, they are not trying to hit him through the square wickets. Now that the batter, especially last match, Rituraj taught them how to hit him. They are putting the foot in front and they are trying to hit him straight. So what happens is he needs to push them on the back foot. So for that, he needs to bowl the quicker deliveries on the shorter side to the body than bowl up front. But what has happened is he's now become one-dimensional, yes, as you say. He needs to, more than the crossing, he can try to swing the ball, which is not doing it. The ball is going straighter. The more it goes straighter, it becomes easier to play through the line. Bhuvnesh Kumar is half the pace probably. Like he's bowling at 125, 128, 130, but he's troubling the batsman more because you need to keep the batsman guessing how the ball is going to come. If it's going to come straight like a arrow, they'll hit it back
Use the
like an
pace.
arrow.
Yeah, right, right.
So he has that quality. Yes, one odd ball bowling a slower one or reducing the pace a bit than what it is. Now, he needs to think differently. But yes, it's a brilliant learning curve, and I think he needs to outthink the batsman now because they have now sorted him out. They know how to play him.
Right. I mean, I've been hearing that, this evening, more than David Warner's innings, of course, we know what he's capable of. But this was quite a talking point throughout the evening. So I'll come to Anis Bhai on that note. Anis Bhai, just one or two matches before, there had been a major, a talk about how we can track Umran Malik into the Indian squad, be it for the T20 World Cup or for Test squad, where he get a better opportunity to attack with the field and in red ball, of course. Now, how do you think we should deal with? I mean, should we deal him with kid gloves, or we straight away throw him in the deep end of the tunnel?
Well, in the last World Cup, he was already a net bowler. So I'm sure he must have gained a little bit of experience, even though he was a net bowler. But playing an international match is going to really test him as a player, his temperament. I wouldn't be surprised if India take him to Australia and just throw him in the pool and ask him to bowl fast. It's not going to learn bowl slow balls or the cutters or vary his length. If he has to play, he has to bowl fast. The problem, what I see in the last two matches is that Williamson has used him in the power play. In the earlier matches, he was not bowling in the power play. And when you are bowling with two fielders restrictions, there's a lot of pressure on the bowler because he's bowling quick. And the moment you edge or try to swing the ball, it goes. And today's first ball, which he bowled, was a weird wide ball, which the keeper had collected, it would have saved 4 runs. But such things happen. But having said that, Umran Malik can be groomed well. Whether he'll be successful in the longer format in Test cricket depends on his fitness. But in the shorter format, he will be definitely successful, provided he's taken care well and when used well. Otherwise, he will leak runs, but there will be days when he'll win you the match. He's like, let's take the example of a batsman, a hard-hitter batsman like a Puran or a Pollard. One day they will win you a match with a quick fire 50. The other day they'll get out for a block. So you have to accept both.
And again, adding to Anis Bhai's point, Gautam, the World Cup is going to be in Australia, where the wickets are favorable to the bowlers like him. If you bowl quick, if you hit the deck hard, it will help you. Whereas here, the wickets are slowing down. That's why his success rate is coming down, because the ball is coming lower and it's not bouncing as much. So he will be more successful in World Cup, especially the shorter format, than what he is right now.
Well, we'll see. Once again, in fact, another question before I move on to Samrood. You see, I mean, Delhi, we had been in this today's performance. Do you think that they're getting few things right now that David Warner is among the runs in the upper middle order? You've got Rovman Powell delivering, and you've got today, of course, SRH were they were very much up against it, chasing 200. The power play, they were looking like that old SRH in the power play, as you yourself said. So Khalil Ahmed could, finally come back with 3 wickets. But have they got all their problems sorted? How are you looking at Delhi? How far do you think they can go from here?
Well, Gautam, this team seems to surprise me one day with a very good performance, and the other day they come up with a very flat performance. And today again, even though the margin is 20 runs, but sometimes strange things have happened in this IPL. And mind you, if Powell's that ball would have been Puran's that ball would have been a no ball. Who knows what would have happened? But anyway, leaving that aside about SRH innings, I want to come to Delhi's thing. Like you mentioned, if Warner, Prithvi Shaw, Mitchell Marsh, and then you're talking about Powell with the bat. And of course, Pant has to contribute with the bat, as he did with a little bit of cameo today. And with the ball, Nokia has to play, because you saw he's quick. He's not easy to just take him apart. And then we are talking about Shardul and Khalil Ahmed. But today they did 4 changes, which was a bit surprising. Akshar Patel, I know, is injured. And there was another injury too. Prithvi Shaw was not well.
Prithvi Shaw.
So this is a team which is again blowing hot and cold. They have all the talent to go the distance because they are at number 5, not at number 6, Gautam, and they still have 4 games to go. So if they make it to the playoff, they are a dangerous team. But there are no ifs and buts. They have to click as a unit. And for them to click as a unit, the captain has to put his hand up and score a big innings.
Right. Well, I'll come to Samrud. Samrud, there had been this upward curve with those 5 wins. And then again, we notice a bit of slide. But in that, the silver lining is, if you look at the batting lineup, which was initially looking thin, which was, the team was overtly reliant on bowling. That is not quite the case. But when they're chasing a big target, they've got a problem because that lack of, that explosive nature to take the attack, to take the benefit of the field restrictions, that is resting on Abhishek Sharma. It's not that he didn't try, but he failed today. So do you see a solution, or it's too late in the day for Ken Williamson to change his batting order? What do you feel, Samrud, about it as a fan?
I think today was the best day to try out a new opening combination because they had to choose. They had to chase such a big score. They should have sent in Rahul Tripathi, who can take the game on right from the start, which would have allowed Kane Williamson to bat at 3. Kane Williamson, the successful Sunrisers players, his successful runs have come at number 4 or number 3. So it was a bit surprising when Kane Williamson actually thought of opening in this particular IPL. Because last year we had David Warner and Johnny Bairstow. Even Manish Pandey batted ahead of Kane Williamson. So Kane Williamson going ahead and opening in this particular tournament was a bit of a surprise. Abhishek Sharma's form has been brilliant, but I think if they wanted to change things up, I think today was the best opportunity to try out Rahul Tripathi, but unfortunately that didn't happen. That ultimately hurt us. I think if we would have had a power play of say of around 50 runs with just 1 or 2 wickets, I think we would have been in the game. But unfortunately, I don't think next match you can try out that. I think that will be too late in the tournament. We'll be just praying that Kane Williamson comes back to his original form and he'll be back amongst the runs for us in the next game.
Right. Yes. Before we move on to tomorrow's game, I'll come to Anis Bhai, and of course, if we have got any other opinions to throw on the table. Anis Bhai, just a quick word on the competition as we are entering the home stretch now.
Well, yes, today was the 50th game. Every day you need to predict the winner, which is very difficult in this IPL. And if you're bang on in getting the winner right, you might be the lucky one to get the apparel kit, which is a track, t-shirt and a cap, as well as 1 year's digital subscription from Gulf News.
Right. And I'll come to you also tomorrow. I mean, tomorrow we have got, Gujarat Titans versus Mumbai Indians. For Mumbai Indians, certainly only pride at stake. Today, when Mahela Jayawardene spoke, he was talking about, Kartikeya and how Hrithik they were coming about. So certainly they are looking beyond this edition. But, when you meet a team with, they can also act as party poopers. We saw it in the last game. So what do you feel? What are your expectations from this game, and who do you think will win?
As much as, we want Mumbai Indians to do well, I would probably want Pandya and Shubman Gill to, get his side across the line because, they have won good games and they are almost assured of a playoff. But going into the playoff with wins will help their confidence because the last game, they wanted to try out batting first, which they failed. They seem to be a side which seems to be chasing well. But it might not happen in a playoff. They might have to probably bat first if the opposition puts in. That's what he want to try. But tomorrow, if Mumbai, as they say, they might play for pride and be party spoilers. For Gujarat, they might not be the party spoilers unless they beat them so comprehensively that their confidence is dented. But in a way, I feel it's a good chance for Gujarat to show that why they are the best and beat Mumbai Indians at their home ground.
Exactly. Shubman Gill, the thing is, in fact, you even wrote about it in the start, the kind of consistency that we saw, or the amount of, there was a, certain shift about, not allowing the dot balls. the going hasn't been good in the last 3-4 matches. I mean, I'm cannot the sequence of scores I don't remember, but there is a certain degree of lapsing into that old malaise of Shubman. What do you think about it?
Once again, flattering to deceive. Easier said than done. He's got all the talent, all the class, all the shots. Sometimes he tries to be funky. What we're seeing now in Virat Kohli. Virat Kohli has proved himself as a player. Shubman Gill has got age on his side. He doesn't have to be in a hurry when you have Saha on this side who's tonking the ball. You get your eye in and make sure that you set the tone for the team by being the anchor and ensuring that you hold on to one end. Like we've seen with many players who at the end of the 15 overs they've batted, or whatever overs they've batted, the strike rate is improved. Shubman Gill is in a hurry. Last match he got out, run out, and he blamed the bowler instead of blaming himself. And he's finding different ways. So apart from two performances, it's flattering to deceive us. And I hope he can improve so that Gujarat can get better.
I'll come to Satish. To your take on tomorrow's game.
I think Gujarat will again try to,
Yes.
if they win the toss, they will try to bat first, because I think the one good thing Pandya is trying to do is make sure that when they reach the playoffs, they are in a much better position and they are more rounded and they are got themselves exposed to various challenges. I think if they bat first, I'm sure they will not do the same mistakes as they had done last game, because of what has happened in the last game. You had somebody like Rabada who can come and once he gets a wicket, he can come and be very dangerous bowler. And in that sense, I don't think Mumbai has got such a Bumrah is there, but it's not that they have such a potent attack. They can still try that out, and I would bank Gujarat to come good, even if they set the target.
Samrud, what's your take about tomorrow's game?
I'm also backing Gujarat. I think they have a very strong bowling lineup against a fragile batting order of Mumbai Indians. I think apart from Suryakumar Yadav, I don't think there's any player who's batting in really good form. So I'm also backing the Gujarat Titans. My only worry for Gujarat Titans is most of their wins have come chasing. So I do believe that Hardik Pandya will bat first and try to change things up a bit. But I do think that Gujarat Titans will have to bat well and get a score around 170, 180 on the board, and then try and defend it with their strong bowling lineup. Also, I wanted to ask a question over here. We also saw Karthik Tyagi bowling 150 today, and also Umran Malik has been bowling fast each and every game. So do you guys think Dale Steyn has a role to play in that? Do bowling coaches have a role to play in a bowler bowling fast?
Gautam, you can answer this.
I think in the space that a fast bowling coach gets to work in the IPL, if you look at the way the coach before the inning starts, it's all about which side of the field that they're going, how to bowl to the field, and the smaller tricks. The fast bowling, the ability to bowl fast, or how to develop your muscles to increase your speed. For that, IPL time limit is short. I think what we are getting here is a reflection of the bigger picture, that there is a kind of pace revolution, if I may use the word, with more and more youngsters, trying to bowl quick. So that's the result that we are seeing. I mean, it's not, we're talking about Umran, but we are not talking about Kuldeep Sen. We're not talking about few other guys. So that is coming very organically. What the fast bowling coach is trying to do is trying to teach you the finer points. Like Satish was speaking about Umran not bowling enough Yorkers. There was one deadly Yorker who got, I'm forgetting which match it was, and the way Dale Steyn reacted, it kind of showed that his tips have paid off. So possibly I think it's the finer points, while your urge to bowl fast comes from within yourself.
Samrud, again, it's not one day effort.
Yeah.
Like as Gautam would say, like it's a time frame. You need to get your muscles in order, and your rhythm should be in order. More than your muscles, you need to run in properly, and the delivery strike, your finishing point. It's a multiple combination of a lot of things. I think that way there are many coaches in India who are working on the pace, and they are doing a lot of things very scientifically and systematically. So that's the reason why you see so many bowlers bowling quick. But the flip side is they need to be handled well so that they don't get injured.
I'll just ask one concluding question to Anis bhai. I think you'll also have to give the due to the curators of these wickets in Mumbai, which is held so well for now 2/3 of the games have taken place. Also in Pune. I mean, this is a different kind of IPL that we are seeing, where spinners have played their role fine. So, Anis bhai, what do you think? I mean, don't you think this has kind of encouraged the bowlers to run in hard and do their job?
In fact, it's one of the best IPLs, not because there's just 10 teams, but there have been heavy scoring games. The spinners have done their job. There's movement for the fast bowlers. There's, if you've seen in the first 6 overs, there have been wickets falling to swing and seam. So there's everything there. If you bend your back and if you have the talent like Butler, you can score runs. So this is one of the finest wickets been prepared. And mind you, this has been held only in 4 grounds. So hats off to all the curators. And I believe Saurav Ganguly and team would be happy that they held this IPL in back and home and these 4 centers and prevented the COVID to hit them.
Possibilities, yes. Of course, there's still some way to go. There's a lot of there's still lots to play for. So on that note, we'll leave you. Thank you for joining us. And tomorrow again, we'll be back after the game for a post-match discussion. Thank you and good night.
Bye.
Thank you.